My fellow Barbadians, this year we celebrate the 58th anniversary of our political independence from Britain. 58 years ago, on 30th November 1966, Barbados became a sovereign state. The government of that day, which was elected on November 3rd, 1966, was officially declared free to make its own decisions, enact its own policies, and conduct its own affairs without interference from other nations, entities, or bodies. Political independence was a necessary step in facilitating the development of Barbadian society and the ability of all Barbadian people to make decisions that reflect their will and needs. Before independence, some who were able to dream and to pursue their dreams, but they represented only a minority of those who called Barbados home. For the remainder years of colonial rule had eroded their self-esteem and self-belief. As an oppressed people, they were uncertain about their place, their humanity and identity, because colonial policy created a polarized society. Mindful of these barriers, my party, the Democratic Labour Party, then led by Errol Walton Barrow, declared war against poverty, unemployment, and all the associated social ills. Mr. Barrow confidently believed that by gaining independence, all Barbadians would be imbued with a deep sense of national pride, social solidarity, and self-confidence. When they joined the Democratic Labour Party on this journey of self-determination, Barbadians also understood that nationhood embodied a strong psychological component. Nationhood was understood to be about the hopes and aspirations of all Barbadians, and about creating an environment in which no one was seen as second class. Pride in industry, our national motto, deliberately chosen, embodied two key aspects of our nationhood. First, it embodied belief in our ability to come together under the title of Barbadian, to protect each other's needs and interests, to work collectively and collaboratively to ensure the well-being and security of all. Second, it embodied a commitment as a Barbadian society to sustain ourselves under any circumstances, to provide for our needs without depending heavily on external assistance of any kind. Our national core values were captured in ideas of sovereignty, mutual protection, and self-sufficiency. And we are satisfied that generally successive government administrations have sought to keep Barbados on this trajectory. We can truly be proud of the strides that the country has made, the many ways in which our society has evolved, and the many lives that have been transformed because of the state's steady hand on our society's rudder. We, the Democratic Labour Party, understand quite well that sovereign independent states must navigate complex interdependencies that will sometimes require negotiation. We are aware that in our Western globalized world with deeply interconnected trade and economic systems, state sovereignty faces many challenges with real threats of global repercussions. But we firmly believe that as a sovereign nation, we must place our national independence over global interdependence. And we must prioritize the pressing realities of national citizenship over any idea of global citizenship. Writing in the Barbados Advocate in 1965, Mr. Clen Albino advised the country that independence required a much higher sense of responsibility and discipline than citizens had ever known. Many of us who have left the security of the family home to start our own families and chart our own paths can well identify with the sage advice he offered. We know that we are not to run back home when difficult times come, because as challenging as times may be, we are duty-bound to find our own solutions by making use of our own ingenuity. So our nation's anniversary of independence is indeed worthy of public acclaim. We can never fully understand, but must nevertheless respect what independence meant to our predecessors, the majority of whom were a dispossessed people. Neither will we fully understand, but again must respect what it meant to initiate a change in the character of Barbadian society in order to promote equality. Let us not forget that through independence, hundreds of thousands were made to feel that this country was theirs also. Hundreds of thousands dared to dream because they were made to feel that they did indeed belong. Through independence, this island became a nation, And with that came the opportunity for psychological peace to hundreds of thousands of citizens connected to each other through the historical hurt embedded in their shared island experience. At the same time that we commemorate the 58th anniversary of our independence, we also acknowledge the 3rd anniversary of Barbados being declared a parliamentary republic. We do this being fully aware that any republic which fails to manage its independence runs the risk of becoming a failed state. We acknowledge that independence is much more than just a date. It is a process and a project of self-emancipation. Barbadians, despite the challenges that this season in our history may portend, let us move forward with courage, with conviction, and with hope. Let us honor the legacy bequeathed us by our ancestors by reclaiming the features of Barbadian life that made us unique. And let our foresight, determination, and perseverance be the history taught to future generations. We wish everyone a happy independence.
We loyal souls and